Keletso.
Good morning, Ausimpo. I call you Ausimpo because my older sister is Simpo. So a very good morning to you and to the listeners of Mawatu FM. It is an honor and a privilege to be with you this morning. So thank you for the invitation.
Thank you so much. Now, Keletso, I understand you are a writer. But before we get into that, who is Keletso Yende?
So, Keletso Yende is a child of the Most High God.
Amen.
She is a mother. She is a wife. She is a writer, an author, a book publisher. And she's also a servant of God.
Hallelujah.
I'm a pastor at Grace Bible Church here in Gugulethu, Cape Town. And I'm also a bit of an academic. I love academia.
Yeah.
So I'm currently a PhD student in theology as well.
Wow, interesting. Now, Keletso, you are an author and a writer. What books have you written, or are you written, or have you written, or you have written before? Just take us through your journey of being a writer, an author.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think before I was an author, I was a writer, but I actually didn't even realize that I was a writer. I think my writing journey for me began in my academic journey. So over the years, I've written a lot of research papers academically. It was only in 2021 where I actually went into becoming an author. You know, you become an author when you have a book that's published. And that was driven by my personal experience. I lost my daughter at 39 weeks. She was still born. So in my healing journey, I started journaling a lot, like writing about my thoughts and my feelings. And I got to a space where I felt God leading me to share my story and my healing journey with others who had also gone through that devastating loss.
Yeah.
So that's when I authored my first book. It was titled "I Never Saw Her Eyes," gaining from the pain of loss.
Yeah.
And that was published in 2021.
Yeah.
So following that, I have just now launched my second book, which is titled "Blessed with Laughter," which is the journey to seeing her eyes. So my current book is sort of a part two from my first book, because it's talking about the journey from healing from pain until the journey of now being blessed with a beautiful rainbow daughter.
Wow, very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So take us through your book. What can the reader expect when they read your book?
So my book is intended to ignite hope for couples who are experiencing challenges in their journey of trying to have kids, or couples that have lost babies during pregnancy, perhaps miscarriages, or have those that have had stillborn babies, is to ignite hope in them, for them to persist in trying again. And it also equips them to enjoy their rainbow pregnancy despite anxieties. And, when I say rainbow pregnancies, a lot of people always say, what is a rainbow?
Yeah.
So the concept of a rainbow, we know from the Bible.
Yeah.
It's that symbol that God gave to Noah after the storm to say, the storm is over, and I will never destroy the earth and humanity like this. So it's just a symbol of hope, a symbol of saying the storm is over, happiness is here. So when we're talking about that rainbow pregnancy and a rainbow baby, it's, being pregnant after having been pregnant before and losing the pregnancy, the anxiety that one goes through in that period. So my book is just to be a companion to a person that's going through that, to say, even if you've lost a baby before, even if you are struggling in your fertility journey, you can still enjoy the pregnancy and enjoy the blessing of the season that you are in now, without allowing the past hurt and the past pain to keep you in captivity. So that's what the reader can really expect. It's a companion. To say, let's walk the journey together as someone that's been on the journey and has had that painful experience of child loss to experiencing the blessing of God and being blessed with laughter.
Jesus.
So in essence, that's what it's really about.
Yeah. How challenging was it for you to write the book? Because I can hear it's just a build-up from the time when you wrote your first book. You had lost your child. You haven't seen her. Now, this is the second time now writing this book again. How was challenging for you and the journey in writing the book?
Sure. Sometimes when I reflect, I think it was actually more difficult than the first book. And in a sense that, when I wrote my first book, it was after I had suffered the loss. And it was just me and my husband and our pain, and we were going through it the way we're going through it. So it was easy to write, every day and to be disciplined. I mean, that book, from the time I started writing it to the time that it was ready to be published, it was 3 or 4 months at most. So now that I actually had the baby, sitting down and writing, I didn't have time. So this second book actually took almost 2 years before it was ready to be published. So it was quite a challenge, juggling being a mother and an author at the same time. But in terms of the enjoyment and the experience of writing it, it was definitely much lighter than the previous book. I mean, the previous book, I'm writing about pain, I'm writing about loss, I'm writing how to get over pain. So it wasn't an easy book to pen down. The second book was a bit easier in that, you're now writing about a testimony to say, see what the Lord has done. This is where I was before, and this was the journey to me getting to where I am right now. So in terms of the actual story, it was definitely much lighter and easier to pen down. But time-wise, it was just hectic. Because now I had to balance that with the baby being around.
any words of encouragement someone wants to be a writer? What can you say to them for aspiring authors?
Yeah. So, actually, before I wrote my first book, I didn't realize how many people actually want to write, but they are struggling to.
Yeah.
It's only after I wrote my first book that people were approaching me, basically with the same question that you're asking me.
Yeah.
Pastor Kenezo, I have a story I want to write. Where do I start? What do I do?
Yeah.
And that's also what inspired me to start Sister K Publishers, my publishing company. So since I published my first book, I've actually helped a lot of people to publish their books as well.
Yeah.
And one of the things I always advise writers is just be clear in your mind first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why you are writing, who you are writing to, and what you hope to achieve through writing. So once your purpose is clear, once your target audience is clear, then I believe the process of writing becomes much easier. A lot of people struggle because they know they want to write, but they are not actually clear what they want to write about. Sometimes they know what they want to write about, but they don't know why they are writing. So that's my advice. Be clear upfront about the purpose, why you want to write, what you want to achieve with your writing, and who you are writing to. And then just have that daily discipline of writing every day. Like I was telling you earlier about how I started journaling. Journaling for me also is a very effective tool in a life of a writer. Because if you get into the habit of journaling on a daily basis, when it's time to put your book together, it's actually not going back to the drawing board. It's actually putting stuff together that you've already penned down. So it's just, being intentional, man. You can do it. It's possible. And get help. That's what publishing companies are for as well, because we offer you coaching to get you to that point of clarity of intent, so that your journey becomes easier and you have someone that holds you accountable. If you're supposed to write a chapter every week, then Friday I've got a meeting with Pastor K, and she's gonna want to know what I have written. So get help, get an accountability partner, but be clear about what you want to write, and it just makes the process so much easier.
So where can we find your book? We want to read Blessed with Laughter. Where can we get your book?
So my book is firstly available from myself directly. So you can follow me on the socials, on Facebook, Keleto Sister K Yende. And you can also find us on email, sisterkpublishers@gmail.com. My number is always also available. And then the book is also available on Amazon. So you can get it directly from myself, or you can get it from Amazon. And if you just follow my socials, you have all the details.
So are we expecting to have more books coming from you?
Oh, absolutely. Once you start writing, and as you write, you get more ideas, you get more inspiration. So, yes, definitely, there's already something that's like 80% almost ready to go to market, and there's also ideas for so by God's grace, definitely, you can expect, or the readers can expect, more inspirational and empowering work from Keletso Yende.
Yeah. What are your socials so that we can follow you and get your book? Where do we get Keletso Yende? Social media?
Yeah. So Facebook.
Yeah.
Keletso Sister K Yende, and that's the same Instagram handle as well, Sister K _Yende.
Yeah.
And I've got a website actually as well, because that's where you find everything about me and everything else that I do. You know, today was just about the book, but there's more to Keletso Yende.
Yeah.
So just go to sisterkyende.org and you will get everything that you need. Information about the publishing company, where you can get the book. sisterkyende.org is where all the information is.
Yeah, blessed with laughter, with the beautiful Keletso Yende. Such an amazing book. I will definitely read that book, and thank you so much for having to share your book, your knowledge, your wisdom. We really appreciate it. We love reading in the Good Hope segment. We love, listen to any Good Hope show on Thursday and Friday. You'll hear what I'm talking about. But thank you so much for having conversations with you and getting to know Keletso Yende and the book. And any projects you're currently working on, Sis Keletso?
I am working on quite a number of projects.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned, as a publisher as well.
Yeah.
So we've got a very exciting book that we are working on with one of our clients.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll come back with the client so that he can do a book review as well on the book.
Yeah.
But I'm not privy to make the announcement as yet.
Okay.
But we're definitely working on a couple of exciting projects. You know, people's stories are so rich, and I believe they can empower and inspire so many people. So I love telling or helping people to tell their stories because of the impact that stories have on other people. So you definitely watch the space. There will be more coming from us in 2024.
Oh, very interesting. And thank you so much for sharing your book. Enjoy the rest of the day, Sis Keletso. Sis Keletso, thank you so much. And thank you very much. Yeah.
God bless you, and enjoy the read. As you get the book, you will be inspired and you will be empowered.
Thank you so much, Keletso Yende. Blessed with laughter. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the day. God bless you.